First density. According to density-based models of the ecology of consciousness, the first density is the consciousness base of inanimate matter and energy local to our universe in the exopolitical dimensions. Second density. According to these models, the second density is the base density of the evolution of consciousness in the vegetable and animal kingdoms, for example, local to our Earth and our universe. The evolution of consciousness in the second density concerns biological life, survival, adaptation, competition, group organization, as seen with animals and the like. The soul structure is generally a species soul pool, but as a species become more advanced, individual members of the species may differentiate themselves by more varied individual learning. Third density. According to these models, the third density corresponds to living beings that have a degree of individual consciousness and corresponding free will, at least in potential. This implies that a proper being of third density is a moral entity with attendant responsibilities. While the animal does primarily act according to the typical behavior of the species, the third density entity is supposed to have reflexive self-awareness and free will, and to be thus accountable in terms of karma and soul evolution. Fourth density. The density-based systems of ecologies of consciousness describe fourth density as a partly physical state where graduates of third density may deepen and perfect their chosen polarity. Service to self and service to other groups are distinct in fourth density and do not automatically come in contact unless in the context of interacting with third density. Fourth density beings enjoy more conscious control over physicality and generally form groups telepathically sharing a common pool of experience while retaining a certain individuality. It seems that third density beings may visit fourth density conditions in the context of UFO abduction, for example. This does not, however, make one a fourth density being. The density to which one is native depends on development of consciousness. Fifth density. The fifth density of the density-based system is termed the interlife or afterlife in the dimensional ecology of the Omniverse hypothesis. According to the fifth density model, souls of the first through fourth density find themselves in the fifth density between incarnations. This is a contemplative zone where these souls may observe their past and future lives from a purely ethereal state of being. However, for progress to be realized, the souls must incarnate in the density which best corresponds to their level of progress. Sixth density. According to the density-based system of consciousness, the sixth density is a level of non-material existence where souls have outgrown the need to incarnate in any density. Souls of first through fourth densities go through incarnations with a contemplated period as non-material forms and fifth density in between. Sixth is the last stage before union with the one, or seventh density. Seventh density would correspond to the one source of all creation. The archangels or solar world of the Gurdjieffian cosmology may refer to sixth density. Seventh density, according to the density-based system of consciousness, this is the level where all is one and one is all in a practical, real, and meaningful sense. There is no longer any difference between thought and reality. This corresponds to a notion of all-encompassing God or universe or the Sun Absolute of Gurdjieff. Exopolitics and parapsychology as key sciences of the Omniverse. Exploring and understanding the dimensional ecology of the Omniverse flows out of correlating parallel research in two key sciences, exopolitics and parapsychology. Exopolitics is a science that studies relations among intelligent civilizations in the universes of the exopolitical dimensions of the Omniverse. Exopolitics as a science. The exopolitics model was first publicly presented in June 2000 in my lecture at a conference at the University of Wyoming, chaired by Professor Leo Sprinkle. The science of exopolitics formally began with my 1999 book, Exopolitics, A Decade of Contact, which was published online in the year 2000 as a free ebook to seed a new paradigm of thought for earthling humankind. Disclosure of and governmental and public acknowledgement and understanding of an extraterrestrial and multidimensional presence on Earth has accelerated since 2000. Exopolitics was nominated for 2005 Word of the Year. As a science, exopolitics uses tools familiar to other sciences. These include the philosophy of science, a research database of standard classifications, and the law of evidence as a methodology for evaluating witness and documentary evidence. Exopolitics uses the concepts and structures of cosmology and ontology to frame essential questions. As a branch of philosophy and science, cosmology addresses the nature of the omniverse, asking questions about the functions, components, and purpose of the omniverse. Ontology, as a branch of philosophy, addresses the issues of being, existence, and reality. As a discipline, ontology grapples with the existence or non-existence of entities such as intelligent civilizations in the omniverse, and considers the typologies within which such civilizations should be grouped. Exopolitics develops typologies of intelligent civilizations in the dimensions and parallel universes of the physical universes of the multiverse in order to research, map, explain, and understand the dynamics and interrelations of these intelligent civilizations. The exopolitics model, like the dimensional ecology hypothesis, is the obverse of the 20th century canon of science, which holds that all intelligent life ends at Earth's orbit. The penalty for any professional not towing this line is probable loss of professional status and possible harassment by government authorities. The universe-centric exopolitics model holds, instead, that we live in a highly populated universe, in a multiverse filled with intelligent, evolving civilizations operating under universal laws, having governance systems and mediated by universe politics. So there's where we're going to stop for today and take up tomorrow, Friday, July 17th, on a populated universe and multiverse that is part of the dimensional ecology and the exopolitics model. We've been reading from the dimensional ecology of the Omniverse, which is the first of the Omniverse trilogy of books that you can find at universebooks.com. If you'd like to explore further in Omniversity, you can go to our information blog at omniversity.info. There are free classes that you can take there on various subjects from EXO University. .org. Well, thank you very much for having participated in today's. We're getting a lot of very positive feedback on these readings every day. So thank you.